Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is the THICCDAD Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Champagne, and thank you for coming back for another episode. I just want to once again say thank you so much to everyone who is downloading, commenting, rating the show, giving it 5 stars, sharing it, watching it on YouTube. Thank you to everyone. Even if you put it on, like you cast it to a TV in your backyard and face this podcast towards a neighbor you hate and you blasted it full volume sort of as like a torture technique, I'm still thankful for that. It still counts as a download or a view. So thank you so much to everyone. Welcome back to another episode. A lot has happened since the last episode. Okay, let's get right into it. I'm not even wearing a shirt under this crew neck, by the way. Feels inappropriate, feels wrong, but it's almost fall out and I now need to wear crew necks to cover up my nipples. So welcome to September. My daughter turned 6 months old very recently, a few days ago, and I'm losing it. Okay, for some reason now, when my kids hit certain milestones, whether it's age or some sort of skill they pick up, or the worst is actually when you get rid of something that you might never use or need again. Because with my son, it was, a little bit different where we would, something would go away. He outgrew like the high chair or like a certain size of clothes or whatever. And you're like, oh, but if we have a second, we'll use it for that. But my wife and I do not plan on having a third right now because we're already emotionally outnumbered by the two we have. Being physically outnumbered would be catastrophic on many levels. But it's, when you start with our daughter now, when clothes, she's outgrowing clothes, or like she starts hitting these milestones, in our minds we're like, oh no, that's the last time that one of our babies is going to be 6 months old or be in the size 2 diapers. So it's a bit of an emotional time. My son's ready for a big boy bike now, which is insane. He had a balance bike that he never really rode outside all summer. This kid rode his little balance bike in the kitchen, just running over my toes, turning them into mashed potatoes. And like fall comes and he wants to go outside with it, and he's getting a little big for it, so we're almost getting ready to buy him a big boy bike. My daughter's 6 months old. She's rolling, she's yapping, she's incredible. So these milestones that our kids are hitting now, it's really getting to me, and they're very exciting. But that's the ups and downs of parenting, right? In the same exact moment, you're so excited that like, oh my God, he's moving to a big boy bike. And then you're like, oh wait, he'll never be on the small bike or the trike that we push ever again. And unless he has like a 5-year regression where he just goes back 3 years, like a reverse Benjamin Button type thing, or like a time machine. I don't know. But anyways, that's been getting to me lately. So if you're going through that, strength to you, because it's tough. It's tough to go through these ups and downs that happen in the same second. It's so crazy to think about how you can be so happy and so sad in the same moment. It's probably not good for you. It's like jumping in a hot tub and then going to roll in the snow right after. It's like that, but for your emotions. Oh, can't be good. My therapist already drives a Rolls Royce, so I don't need to give that person any more money. Just kidding. I don't go to therapy, but I should. And I think most of you who listen to this will agree. We did potty training with my son very recently, and we did a method that has had a lot of success according to the internet. So we tried it, and things are going well. Let me tell you, it's a 3-day method. I'm not going to give too much of it away because it is a great course that you can go get if you're interested. But day 1, they're naked all day, just like Woodstock, just dick out, ass out, everything, just running around, being an insane person, no clothes all day, and you just wait for them to feel like they have to go pee. You have a potty set up. Day 2, you add clothes if they're ready and they've had some success. And then day 3, you can kind of do some short outings with them, like go for a walk or go, prank your neighbor, toilet paper their house or whatever you do. But so day 1 went fantastic. We were like looking at each other like, oh my God, is this going so well? Like, do we even address it? It was going so well, we didn't even want to talk. My wife and I didn't even want to look at each other. You know when your kids are like sleeping well and you don't even talk? You're like, if we even communicate about anything, if we talk about The Bachelorette, our kids will stop sleeping. Like, So we were like, oh, this is going crazy. Well, like he pooed in the potty on the first day, had a bunch of pees, very few accidents. We were like, oh God. Second day, disaster. Completely back to stage 0. And we were like, well, this is bad. It was the most emotional, like, ups and downs in a 3-day span, because you're basically locked in the house for 3 days. Our neighbors were having like a street party. There's like bouncy castles, parents drinking alcohol out of Yetis and lying to each other, saying it's coffee. It seemed so fun outside, and I kept looking through like my blinds like this, just being like, oh, that looks fun. I was in like an emotional straitjacket in my house. And the ups and downs we went through in the 3 days of, like, when there's successes, you're so happy. And when there's accidents or like regressions in it, you're like devastated, because you're like, I'm failing as a parent. This kid's failing, because they get really upset when they have an accident. So as you normally would. But things are going well now, so fingers crossed. We are working towards, there's no more underwear, and we're working towards a brighter future of only diapers for one of our children. So, I mean, I'll eventually be in diapers in like a few years, probably, literally a few years, not like 30, like a few. But potty training is so tough. So if you're going through it, I mean, good God, it's the hardest thing in the world. I know people who it takes months to potty train them, and then they go back, and then there's just, it's so hard. It's so effing hard that I don't wish it upon anyone. I wish kids could be in diapers like forever, and then they just figure it out. But my son seemed like he was ready. He was showing signs. He was telling us when he would have to poop, and so we did it. And so far, so good. But yeah, so that was quite an adventure on the long weekend that we had, and it felt like literal prison, and my wife and I were the wardens, and then there's just like a naked insane person running around, and you're just trying to get them to go. It's probably a lot like being an actual prison warden, to be quite honest with you, except there's almost no differences. If you looked up a day in the life of like a prison warden in a maximum security prison versus what it's like to potty train your child locked in the house for 3 days, there's 100% overlap. It's one circle. It's not Venn diagramming at all. It is one circle. So I highly recommend that method. It's the Big Little Feelings method, the 3-day intro to potty learning or whatever it's called. And it works. It worked for us so far. So let me tell you this. I need a king-size bed. That's for sure. If anyone out there is a mattresser or a mattresser and can get me a king-size mattress, I need it, because we don't let my son sleep in our bed until maybe like 6 a.m. Or on a weekend, if it's, close to 6 a.m., and he's up, we'll just bring him into our bed, cuddle. Sometimes then we bring our daughter in if she's up, and we just want like a couple extra minutes to just sort of chill and relax. And let me tell you, I want to give my wife space, okay? I want her to actually be on the bed. My daughter needs her space. My son, he's like an umbrella, like a patio umbrella at a pub, this kid. He's skin and bones, weighs under 30 pounds, I think, still. But the guy's got the wingspan of like a golden eagle. If you hovered him over a lake, he could pick a fish out of the lake with his talon, I'm pretty sure. The wingspan on this kid, it makes no sense. He'll be able to dunk by Christmas, I'm pretty sure. So that leaves me to do what I call, because we have a queen-size bed right now, that leaves me to do what I call slice of breading it, where I'm literally on the edge of my bed. My 60 to 80% of my ass cheeks are off my bed completely. I'm like those campers that like set up a tent thing on like a rock climbing, like the edge of a cliff. That's what I do in my own bed. It's horrifying. So I need a king-size bed just for the sheer reason of like, I don't want to be slice of breading it on my own. Because if I fall off and I get a concussion, I'm like 2 concussions away from reverting to diapers and then having to use a tricycle with training wheels. So if anyone can hook me up with a king-size bed, that would be tremendous. I'll put it on the floor if I have to. I don't care. What else is going on? Football season is back, which is I'm very excited about. I love football, and The NFL now, the modern NFL, football season's back, means the Taylor Swift talk is back. And I'll be honest, I'm not going to lie to you. I will be honest. Last year, I was extremely annoyed with it. Okay, I don't particularly listen to Taylor Swift. Obviously, she's a mega star and talented, but I don't. And it was just like, oh God, will they ever stop talking about her? Like, can we focus on the game? I turned into like one of those dickheads with no profile picture on the internet. I didn't actually comment, but like in my head, I was just like, why are we doing this? And then I saw a video where a guy said Taylor Swift being involved in the NFL and being at games has gotten my daughter to watch football with me for the first time in her life. And now we watch games together. And this video, I saw it like right after my daughter was born. And I immediately just went, and I just lost it. And I was like, oh God. I'm like, let her play then. Who cares? Who actually cares? I completely did a 180. I was like, who cares? Let her play. Dads are getting to watch football with their daughters and they're bonding on a level they haven't before. Let her kick a punt, okay? She looks like she has long legs. She could probably hoof it 40 yards or so. I'm feeling 22-yard gain on the play. Let her play. Suit her up. Put her in a helmet. I don't even care. If I get to watch football with my daughter because of Taylor Swift, that would overjoy me so much. So I've completely done a 180 on that. But it's very exciting that that football season is back, which means hockey's back as well. And I'm a big sports guy, a big sports dad. And I'll get my kids into sports, whatever they want to play. Like, dude, hockey is so expensive though that like if he wants to play soccer or like do gymnastics, I'm sure gymnastics isn't cheap either, but like hockey has to be the most expensive sport. Like it's the equipment. Like I play pickup hockey because I'm an idiot and I like to eat what I want, right? I mean, I don't exercise to like look good, right? If I were to take this off, which I never would on camera, but I look like a garbage bag filled with mashed potatoes, okay? The only reason I exercise is so that I can eat like crap. But I play hockey and like my skates are completely torn up, almost literally in pieces. And I'm like, okay, I could get a new pair of skates, but then how do I tell my son he can't have strawberries anymore? Because an entire pair of adult hockey skates is like the price of 4 strawberries. So I wouldn't be able to justify that or tell my son that I can't buy him strawberries because daddy needs new skates. That's insane. But we're moving into the fall season, which is my favorite season. I walked outside the other day and I felt a cold, swift breeze on me grundle, which I don't even know what that word means, and I felt the basic bitch rising up into me, bubbling to the surface like a boiling pot of water. I don't even like pumpkin spice, but I'll wear some brown boots for no reason. I will wear a vest. I'm going to be a vest dad this year, I think. My son just got a new vest, and I am honestly so jealous of his vest. I can't even believe how jealous I am of his vest. I'm trying to find a vest that's virtually the same as his vest, and I can't. And it's devastating me, to be honest with you, because why do they have kids? First of all, kids' clothes are so much cooler than adults' clothes, even when they're only made for kids, and also when they're like looking like adult clothes. Okay, first of all, I would wear a shirt that says "Turtly Awesome" on it, or that says "Possum Friends" and has pictures of dogs on it. You don't think I'd rock that? Absolutely, I would. Beige shirts, off gray shirts, turquoise shirts, boring. Turtly Awesome, I would wear that. And now my son's vest looks like an adult vest. It's like a nice army green looking, and I'm so jealous that they don't make it in bigger than like a 4T. It is, fall is by far my favorite time of year. It was sweltering hot this summer. I don't know where you live, but even up here in Canada, the Great North, we had temperatures of mid-30s Celsius several days in a row at some points, which I believe is close to 100. I don't know. I'm not going to do the math, but You know what, guys? Let's finish off shortly. Do I have any advice? No, not particularly. Not today, I don't think. But once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you could see the setup behind the camera right now, you would vomit. It is my house might look clean on camera when I'm doing videos or shooting content or doing the podcast, but right now I can tell you right now there's a Swiffer over there. Don't know why. There's broken crayons over there. They don't look like they have any bite marks out of them. Please. There's a climbing thing with like a slide for my son that I've half built. I've built half of it. The other half is still in a box. I gotta be honest with you, I'm a little bit behind on my house chores, and I'm trying to get caught up on some of that stuff today. So I need to go get to some chores. So thank you guys so much for listening. Once again, please rate the show 5 stars. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing. I've gotten so many great comments of people just saying that, you know, they relate to some of the more honest stuff that I talk about, which is fantastic because sometimes I feel silly. I feel vulnerable talking about the emotional side of parenting and some of the hardships of being a dad. But I'm glad that people can relate to it. And I have gotten very few negative comments, except from my mom, maybe. I don't know. I think she sent me a letter with some negative stuff. I haven't opened it yet. But thank you guys so much for listening. Please rate the show. Have a great day. Have a great week. I hope your kids treat you nicely. I hope they sleep through the night. I hope your phone's charged, and I hope you have water. God bless. Love you.